Taurus, ancient soul cloaked in quiet strength, the stars have not forgotten you. Though the days may have passed heavy with silence and your spirit walked through rooms no one else could enter, the celestial currents have been whispering your name. And now, they speak louder, clearer, summoning you to awaken. You may not have realized it, but you are standing in a corridor between what was and what is becoming. It is a sacred space, one where the past no longer holds you and the future is still forming in the hands of destiny. You are not lost, you are in transformation, and this month the skies themselves reflect your inner tides. The planetary orchestra begins to shift. It began with Pluto, the planet of shadow and rebirth, turning retrograde in Aquarius on May 4th. This isn't a superficial transit. It's a call to dive into the underworld of your psyche, to face the parts of yourself that have long been hidden under layers of survival, duty, and emotional caution. You, Taurus, who so often carries the weight of stability for others, are now being asked to let go of the illusions of control that bind your spirit. And before we go deeper into what the stars are revealing for you, take a moment. If this message is already resonating, if it feels like a whisper from your soul, pause and do something powerful. Subscribe to this channel and leave a comment with your name and where you're watching from. Why? Because when you speak your presence into this space, you activate your energy of alignment. You're telling the universe, I'm listening, I'm ready. This retrograde is your invitation to stare into your soul's mirror without fear. The old self is not dying, it is being reforged. Then came Mercury, slipping into your sign on May 10th, bringing clarity to your thoughts and weight to your words. Suddenly, what felt foggy begins to gain form. Your inner voice grows stronger. You start to name your longings, not just in whispers, but in declarations. This isn't just communication, it's creation. What you speak now becomes the clay from which your next chapter is sculpted. The lunar mirror reflects your depth. On May 12th, a full moon rises in Scorpio, your mirror in the zodiac. This moon does not comfort, it provokes, it reveals. It brings emotion to the surface with such raw intensity that it may overwhelm. And yet, within that flood lies your liberation. You may cry without knowing why. You may feel the pull of people long gone or the sting of wounds you thought healed. But don't resist this tide. The full moon in Scorpio comes not to destroy, but to purify. It offers you a chance to feel deeply and release what no longer aligns with who you are becoming. The weight you've carried, disappointments, unmet expectations, ancestral grief, it's time to lay it down. Not with bitterness, but with reverence. Thank it, bless it, and let it go. Your mind expands, your spirit reorients. As the sun enters Gemini on May 20th, your inner landscape shifts again. Curiosity stirs. Ideas arrive like birds at your windowsill. A thirst for new understanding grows within you. The dual nature of Gemini challenges you to hold both grief and joy, loss and gain, clarity and mystery. You are allowed to evolve without having all the answers. The new moon in Gemini on May 26th is a portal, a whisper from the universe saying, try again, but differently. This is where you plant what you've been too afraid to wish for. A new way of relating, a new path in career, a new voice inside you that says, I'm allowed to be happy. And Saturn, the master of time and karma, moves into Aries on May 24th. Its presence brings structure to your courage. It asks you to commit, not to someone else's vision, but to your own. To be your own foundation, to trust your instincts even when the world doesn't understand them. The invisible work of becoming Taurus, everything you've been feeling lately, the fatigue, the strange sense of waiting, the ache in your chest that no sleep can heal, it's not in vain. You are not broken, you are becoming. The world will soon catch up to what your spirit already knows, but for now, honor this pause. It is holy. In the silence, you are aligning. In the stillness, you are summoning. The future is approaching, but only when you stop clinging to the past will it truly enter. The light that breaks this waiting is not external. It's the fire you've kept alive inside you through every storm. And so I ask you now, as you read these words, not with your mind but with your heart, do you feel it? That quiet hum inside your chest. That's your soul saying, yes, I am ready. Now, beloved Taurus, I want to invite you into sacred co-creation. If this message stirred something in you, if it felt like it was written with your name etched between the stars, then write this decree in the comments below. I embrace the sacred pause, trusting that the universe is aligning me with my highest destiny. Let it not just be a sentence, but a vow, a promise between you and the divine. Speak it, write it, believe it, for when you do, the universe listens and begins to move in your favor. There is a moment, delicate, fleeting, when a flower opens after a long winter. It doesn't need to be told it's spring, it just knows. That moment, Taurus, is beginning to arrive within you. After months, perhaps even years, of guarding your tenderness, of wrapping your heart in layers of logic and responsibility, something within you is stirring. A softness long forgotten is reawakening. And this is no accident. The cards have been drawn, not with haste, but with divine orchestration. And one in particular begins to hum with your name, the Page of Cups. This card is not loud, not forceful. It doesn't arrive in thunder or flame. It comes gently, like the first tear after long-held silence, like the first note of a forgotten song that still remembers your name. The Page of Cups whispers, "Feel again." It does not shame your fear. It does not demand you be brave before you're ready. It simply opens a door. You have been here before, but this time is different. In the sacred scroll of your life, there have been chapters of betrayal, of loss, of giving more than you received. You have poured from your cup, even when it ran dry. You have stayed when you should have fled. You have loved in the dark, believing one day the sun would rise. And now that sun is rising, not behind someone else, but behind you. This card does not promise fairy tales. It promises authenticity. It is the call to reopen your emotional senses, not to anyone else first, but to yourself, to sit with your dreams again, to admit what you want without shrinking, to want love without shame, to long for gentleness without fear of being broken. The astrology of emotional rebirth, May's lunar currents amplify this invitation to reawaken your inner waters. The full moon in Scorpio unearthed old wounds, but also cleansed your emotional field. Now in the days following, with Venus harmonizing with Neptune, a wave of compassion flows toward you. This celestial alignment softens your inner terrain, making it safer to hope, safer to feel, safer to connect. It is the perfect storm for emotional healing, not by forgetting the past, but by rewriting what comes next. Neptune's divine presence dissolves the barriers between your soul and the divine realm. You may receive signs, dreams, even synchronicities so precise they seem scripted by angels. Pay attention. You are being guided. Let love take a new shape. This rebirth of emotion may show up in many forms. A reconnection with a long-lost friend, a conversation that heals a rift in your family, a romantic possibility that feels different, gentler, more transparent, more honest. Or perhaps, most sacred of all, the realization that the love you've been chasing externally has always lived within you. Do not rush this stage. Let your heart unfold in its own time. Just as the moon does not apologize for its phases, you too are allowed to shift, to feel, to retreat, to glow. And if you are already in a relationship, this is your moment to deepen, not through declarations, but through presence. Real love doesn't shout. It listens, it holds space, it breathes beside you. The soul's honest mirror. The deeper question here is not, who loves me, but how am I loving myself? Are you speaking to yourself with compassion, Taurus? Or are you still rehearsing the voices of those who did not see your worth? You have given others many chances. Now give one to yourself. You do not need to deserve softness. You are softness. You do not need to earn peace. You are peace when you stop fighting yourself. This stage of your journey is about coming home, not to a place, not to a person, but to your own inner sanctuary. Feel, heal, and begin again. So I ask you now with full sincerity and reverence, what is the feeling you have most avoided? Is it grief? Let it speak. Is it longing? Let it rise. Is it joy waiting for permission? Give it that permission now. You are not too late. You are right on time. The Page of Cups is not a conclusion. It's a beginning. The beginning of a new emotional story where your truth is honored, your sensitivity is cherished, and your heart no longer has to hide. There are moments when time bends, when the ordinary suddenly cracks open to reveal the extraordinary. You might not see it coming. It might arrive disguised as a delay, a detour, or a simple decision that doesn't seem to matter at first. But it will matter. Because when the wheel of fortune appears in your life, Taurus, it does not knock, it enters. This card is no accident. It does not come on light footsteps. It comes with gravity, with purpose. It is the silent roar of the universe shifting course, aligning the unseen gears of fate to turn in your favor. If you've made it this far, Taurus, that's not by accident. This message is finding you for a reason. So if your heart has stirred even a little, subscribe now and share your thoughts in the comments. This isn't just a reading, it's a portal. And every word you write is part of that transformation. Let the universe see your commitment, and yet this sacred turn cannot be forced. It does not obey human urgency. It arrives precisely when you release the illusion of control and surrender to the rhythm of your becoming. Destiny does not rush, but it never misses. Perhaps you have felt it recently, that stirring in the soul, that whisper saying, something is coming, and it is. But not as punishment, not as chaos. This is the shift your spirit has been calling in, sometimes with words, sometimes through tears, sometimes through sheer endurance. You, Taurus, who have waited patiently, sometimes painfully, are now stepping into the realm of answers, but answers rarely come neatly wrapped. Sometimes they arrive in the form of endings, sometimes as unexpected encounters, sometimes in the gut feeling that says, go left, not right. Trust that feeling. The sky confirms the shift. The current astrology affirms this divine momentum. Jupiter, the planet of growth and expansion, now dances in harmony with Uranus, planet of the unexpected. This rare alignment is not subtle. It brings breakthroughs, divine surprises, closed doors flying open. Opportunities you thought were lost return. People who carry keys to your next chapter appear. But to receive them, you must do something that feels unnatural to you. Let go of the need to predict. Taurus, you are the zodiac's master builder. You love knowing what comes next. You find safety in the structure, but this is not a moment for structure. It is a moment for trust, for faith, for stepping into the unknown and finding that somehow you are supported. Control is not safety. Presence is the wheel of fortune does not require you to be fearless. It only asks that you stay awake, stay present. Say yes when your soul says yes, even if your mind still has doubts. You are not losing ground. You are being rerouted to higher terrain. And while it may feel unsettling at first, what awaits you on the other side is richer, deeper, truer. You do not need to have a perfect plan. You only need an open heart. Signs and synchronicities are not random. In the coming days, you will notice patterns, numbers repeating, phrases overheard, dreams that linger with more clarity than usual. These are not coincidences. These are the breadcrumbs the universe leaves when it's guiding someone carefully, deliberately, lovingly. Follow them. Write down what recurs. Pay attention to the sudden ideas that wake you from sleep. These are not idle thoughts. They are soul instructions. Destiny doesn't shout, it whispers. And Taurus, the quieter you become, the more you will hear. The sacred ask. With the wheel turning, the sacred ask is this. Are you willing to grow beyond the version of yourself you've outgrown? Are you willing to risk discomfort for the sake of alignment? Are you willing to say goodbye to the familiar pain so you can finally receive unfamiliar joy? This turning point is not about being ready, it's about being willing to say, I may not know what's next, but I know I deserve something more. Willing to believe that not every ending is a failure. Some are doors into miracles. Taurus, if the wheel of fortune is the hand of destiny spinning in divine rhythm, then temperance is the voice that follows, quiet and steady, whispering, now integrate. This card arrives not to stir, but to settle. It does not demand motion. It invites balance. It enters your life like a healer laying warm hands on a restless heart. Where chaos once ruled, it brings peace. Where urgency shouted, it offers pause. And you, beloved Taurus, are asked to drink deeply from this stillness. Your healing is not behind you. It is here you have endured much. You have climbed mountains made of grief. You have waited in valleys of doubt, hoping for light. And through it all, you have remained loyal to others, to responsibility, even to paths that no longer serve you. But now, the loyalty must shift inward. Now, the sacred act is not endurance, but restoration. Temperance appears to remind you, you are not a machine. You are not built to run on empty. You are a soul, a vessel, a sacred space where light and shadow dance together. And to honor your full self, you must slow down. Patience is not passive. It is sacred work. The world has taught you that stillness is weakness, that rest is laziness. But the stars teach something older, deeper. They say that in the pause the soul regathers. In the silence the truth rises. In the space between one breath and the next, miracles are seeded. The current cosmic energy supports this divine pause. With Saturn freshly anchored in Aries, discipline now meets self-awareness. You are not being punished by this slowness. You are being prepared. You are being refined. What is growing inside you now cannot be rushed. It is holy. Meanwhile, Neptune's soft gaze on Venus this month calls you to tend your emotional garden, to weed out the beliefs that tell you love must hurt or worth must be earned. You have nothing to prove. You never did. You are not a problem to solve. You are a mystery to embrace. Temperance invites you to live in the in-between, to not demand quick resolutions, to trust that being unfinished is not failure, it is becoming. Just as twilight is neither night nor day, yet holds the beauty of both, you too are learning to shine in the middle ground. There will be moments when you feel uncertain, when the path ahead is blurred. In those moments, breathe, touch your chest, feel your own heartbeat. It is the oldest rhythm you know. It will guide you home. Practice the sacred art of receiving, Taurus. You are so good at giving. You offer comfort like earth offers roots. You support others with a steadiness that is rare. But now the energy asks, can you receive? Can you let someone else hold space for you, just as you have done for so many? Can you receive rest? Can you receive compliments without deflection? Can you receive love without bracing for pain? To receive fully, you must believe you are worthy. And here is the truth whispered by every star above you. You are. Not for what you do, not for what you give, but simply because you are here, breathing, becoming. The divine is in the details. As you move through these weeks, notice the small things, the way your body softens in sunlight, the song that finds you at the perfect moment, the stranger's kindness that makes your eyes well up. These are not distractions, these are signs. Proof that the divine has not forgotten you. Proof that healing doesn't always come in bolts of lightning. Sometimes it comes in teaspoons. Let yourself savor, let yourself feel. Let yourself trust that even in this season of not yet, everything is unfolding with sacred precision. You are not late, you are right on time. There is a moment, just before the dawn, when the sky holds its breath. A hush falls over the earth, not from fear, but from reverence. This is when the stars are most visible, just before the light returns. And there, shining softly yet defiantly in your soul's sky, is the star. It does not scream, it does not command. It simply is. A silent, steadfast presence reminding you that even when the world grows dark, your light is not extinguished. It is merely waiting to be seen again. Taurus, this card does not promise easy answers. It promises hope, a deeper, slower kind of hope. The kind that does not rely on circumstances, but arises from truth, from the deep knowing that something beautiful is still ahead, that you were not forgotten, that the universe has not misplaced your miracle. The star is the compass of the soul. This is the message you may have forgotten, that it's okay to still believe, that your faith, bruised, tired, and questioned, still holds power. The star appears not to promise everything at once, but to gently whisper, keep going, it's not over. And if you listen, really listen, you'll hear the echo of your younger self, the part of you that once believed in magic, in healing, in second chances, saying, I still believe. Let that voice rise again, not because you're naive, but because you're brave enough to believe again, even after the fall. The sky reflects the rising light. As we approach the close of May and Venus moves to square Pluto, a gentle but intense transformation begins in your relationships, especially the one you hold with yourself. You're learning to let go of attachments masked as love and to call in bonds that honor your spirit, not just your image. Mars in Leo adds the courage to fight not with others, but for yourself, for your joy, for your boundaries, for your right to say yes to a life that feels like home. All the planetary movements now nudge you towards integration, not a perfectionist's version of peace, but a real, raw, lived-in peace. The kind you earn by being honest, by crying when it hurts, by choosing love when it's hard, by not abandoning yourself, especially now. The light is returning, but it begins within Taurus. You are not in exile, you are in emergence. This moment you are living is not your undoing. It is your awakening, and you are doing it with a quiet kind of bravery that the world may never fully recognize. But the stars do. They see you. The star card sees you. It tells you that your healing is not a dream, that your joy is not a myth, that the version of you who lives in deep peace and radiant wholeness is not some distant future. You are already becoming that version now. Honor the path you walked. Look back only to bow with gratitude to who you were. Every version of you brought you here. Every heartbreak was a teacher. Every silence was a sacred room where your soul could speak louder than the noise. And now, with your heart a little more open, with your spirit a little more awake, you step forward, not because it's easy, but because you're ready. You are ready to trust the slow bloom, to build a life aligned not with expectation, but with authenticity. To receive, not just survive. You are ready for joy that doesn't make you question if you deserve it, for love that doesn't need proof, for peace that doesn't require perfection. Final blessing and soul reminder. So beloved Taurus, close your eyes now, breathe slowly, and imagine that star above you, not in the sky, but in your chest. Let it glow, let it grow. It's always been there, even when you forgot, even when it dimmed, because you are not your pain. You are not your past. You are not your losses. You are your light. You are your love. You are the living proof that something divine is still unfolding. And now, as this sacred journey comes to a close, let's not end in silence. If these words touched your spirit, subscribe so you never miss when the stars speak again. And most of all, leave a comment below with your truth, your longing, or even just a single word that represents your soul today. What you write may be the light someone else was waiting to see. Let your voice join the constellation.